Hey, well, today I'm angry about sedition. And I know that's a word that everybody thinks they know, but here is what it actually means. This is the definition of sedition: incitement of, resistance to, or insurrection against lawful authority. So let's think about what that actually means, incitement against lawful authority. Well, let's go back 4 years to the previous presidential debate when Donald Trump was debating Hillary Clinton. And I will take you back to Chris Wallace, who asked Donald Trump this question. He was talking about whether Trump would accept the results of the election. And there was some thought that Trump might not, because Trump was worried about being cheated. And Wallace said, and I quote, "But sir, there's a tradition in this country, in fact, one of the prides of this country, is the peaceful transition of power. And that no matter how hard fought a campaign is, that at the end of the campaign, that the loser concedes to the winner. Not saying that you're necessarily going to be the loser or the winner, but that the loser concedes to the winner, and that the country comes together in part for the good of the country." Are you saying you're not prepared now to commit to that principle? Okay, and this question caused a huge controversy because Donald Trump said maybe, perhaps, I'm not sure, I'll have to see how the election goes. Interestingly enough, this question was not asked of Hillary Clinton, who did turn out to be the loser and subsequently did do everything that they accused Donald Trump of doing. But let's not skip to the end of the story just yet. Donald Trump's answer to Chris Wallace caused a tremendous outcry. Here's part of it. Dylan Byers writes, "There is one headline: Republican presidential nominee refuses to accept results of U.S. presidential election. The rest is secondary." Here's Hillary herself in 2016 saying, quote, "So that is not the way our democracy works. We've been around for 240 years. We've had free and fair elections. We've accepted the outcomes when we may not have liked them. And that is what must be expected of anyone standing on a debate stage during a general election." This is what everybody was saying when they thought that Trump was going to lose. I repeat, everybody was expecting Trump to dispute the election if he lost. It turns out that he won. And as everybody knows, the last 4 years have seen a concerted effort to undo the results of this election, including the people against the result proudly proclaiming themselves as the resistance and declaring their resistance, saying things such as, "This is not our president, we have to get this racist out of the White House," and things far worse than that. I'll go back to the definition of sedition. Does this qualify as incitement of resistance to lawful authority? It's hard to argue that it doesn't, but we live in an age where words don't seem to mean what they mean. And here we are approaching the 2020 elections, and we're facing exactly the same thing. Everybody's accusing Donald Trump of not accepting the results of the election, which is so ironic considering that for the last 4 years, the Democrats have determinedly not accepted the results of the election. And here are some of their complaints today as we head into the 2020 election. Here's Hillary Clinton herself, claiming that, quote, "Joe Biden should not concede under any circumstances because I think this is going to drag out and eventually I do believe he will win if we don't give an inch and if we are as focused and relentless as the other side is." So there's Hillary Clinton, exactly opposite to the statement that she made 4 years ago, where she's basically saying that Biden, should he lose, should not accept the results of the election. Here's Trump, 2020. The media going crazy, saying Trump stirs fears, he won't accept an election loss. It's so funny and so ironic to see the side that's been contesting the results of the election for the last 4 years now being the same side claiming to be worried about the Republicans not accepting the results of the election. Here's CBS this year, 2020. What happens if the president doesn't accept the election results? The bias in the media could not be more clear. All they talk about is what happens if the Republicans don't accept the election results. At the same time, the Democrats are loudly and frequently proclaiming that they will not accept the 2020 election results, and it may take weeks before they will accept that all the mail-in ballots have been counted and that there's even a result. How is this not sedition? When does it become treason? You know, there is a law in this country, the Smith Act, the Alien Registration Act of 1940, which makes it a federal crime to advocate or teach the desirability even of overthrowing the U.S. government or to be a member of any organization which does the same. Now, this was used against the Communist Party, and it has not been used since 1961. But what is this rioting and rebellion in the streets, if not an attempt to overthrow the government? And the Democrats are openly stating that they wish this government to be overthrown. They believe that anybody, I repeat, anybody, literally anybody, would be, except Tulsi Gabbard, of course, would be better than the current occupant of the White House. And they are determined that the current occupant of the White House shall not so remain, no matter what. If that's not sedition, I don't know what is. What's it going to take for us to join together and be a people again? Please, let's wake up.